So, Sultai Geist, this has been on the list of decks I've been meaning to get to that we've been slowly working our way through with alchemy stuff. So, Willow Geist here, whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, this gets a +1/+1 counter. When it dies, you gain life equal to its power. 1/1 trample for 1. And then we've got a bunch of things like Rotting Reunion and Cemetery Illuminator and Lancer and Hermit, and we're getting Ishkanah, Broodmother that allow us to grow this bigger. We also got Oglor, the devoted assistant here, which gives us some card selection every turn, and also lets us make some zombies when our creatures are exiting the graveyard. This, getting onto a creature, seems especially neat when you get to, like, Rotting Reunion it and make, like, 2/2s that can block at instant speed and stuff. Oh, it's tapped, but make end step things to attack with. Not block, but tap. Tap zombies, chat. This also applies to other things putting stuff in the bin, right? So if you have Oglor out and you're filling the graveyard with things like Ludevic or Old Rutstein or Old Stickfingers, you get to get that text on them as well. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here at this and see how it goes. Hey, thanks Archangel. Thanks for the 19 months. Welcome back. Morning, good morning. Mr. One, thanks for the 28 months. J Wall, resub right before we popped on. Thanks for the 27. Yep, looks good. Willow Geist on 1, Rutstein, Reunion, just actually everything we're looking for. Make sure Untapped is loaded. It would be really nice if it would load itself. Hey, Natty Icicle. Well, there's a ton of great people you can send that Prime to every month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it this way this month and keeping me around. Appreciate it. Well, aim. Scry here. This isn't particularly useful against dragons. Looking for ways to get stuff into the bin at the moment. Get Trogdor, just Predator, sure. What's going on, Drake? Thanks for the 3rd of the year. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. See if our Geists are up to racing here. So Rutstein mills a card every upkeep. If a land is milled, we get a treasure. If a creature is milled, we get a 1/1 insect. If a non-land is milled, we get a blood token. Usually catch everything on YouTube, so you only posted one Magic video yesterday. It's a super slow work day. Well, if I would have known that only posting one Magic video would have gotten you to come Prime sub, I'd have done it sooner. Welcome to a live one at any rate. Taking 9 here, which means we are dead to another haste creature next turn. Dragon Whelp is very strong, yes. Dragon's Breath here. About killing Old Rutstein. Feels like we're just pretty thoroughly outraced here. We're at 19. We can put some power into play here, but we're pretty far off of being able to really get anything going. Yeah, they had a really fast start. They were on the play, right? They give us extra turn by killing the Geist? Yeah, potentially. Yeah, Whelp is really good. It's super strong. If you haven't seen the red white dragons deck that we played, definitely make sure you're checking out the daily deck digest every day. A lot of great things going up there. So we're actually relatively close here. We probably would have been able to win this linear game on the play. Alas, it is a game of Magic the Gathering where we were on the draw. Grasp and some Tangletraps. Outpower word kills. Obviously not particularly exciting here. The grind from Illuminator is probably pretty slow. Ludevic can help potentially fill the graveyard for Old Stickfingers. Masterfully outplayed our opponent. Strong showing game 2 there. See, chat? You see how busted being on the play is? We tried Dragon Whelp in Historic. So I actually had a submission for that from one of the Shillionaires, and I ended up telling them they needed to submit something else linked in. In order to make Dragon Whelp a playable card, you really need to be playing this pretty critical mass of dragons. And the amount of dragons you have to be playing in order to hit that critical mass just means your deck's not very good in Historic. It's just too slow and fair. The other decks that have played Glorybringers that feel somewhat playable in Historic are largely only somewhat playable because, they have a lot of other cheap interactive cards. And then again, like, it's gonna take some getting used to, especially to people that, like, don't have a history playing Modern or Legacy, but, like, Historic is a very established format. I feel like a lot of people that are newer to Magic, especially with Magic, the advent of Magic Arena, don't really understand why Standard is such an important format, or now whatever this format is called, Alchemy, is an important format to have as part of Magic's ecosystem, because, like, having a format that rotates, that, like, is consistently changing has a lot of value. So, the problem with your statement, Sir Q, is that you can't... That's not how proofs work. Like, small sample sizes aren't... small sample sizes aren't meaningful. And also, content like that isn't particularly popular in my experience. card is so good. What makes the content less popular? People prefer to watch content. For card game players prefer to watch things that they themselves can emulate at home. So it's the same reason why custom formats aren't particularly popular from a tournament perspective. Making a note to leave the creatures in our bin here. So that way, Old Stickfingers can be larger. I don't know about Gotham. We've got like 2 sulfuric vortexes in play that are personal for us. Like, feels like we're pretty dead here. That's super unfortunate. Alright, so I'm gonna let my green source die this turn. So we'll grab another one of those. Oh, I should have done this pre-combat. I forgot that. This applies to everything, so now my Stickfingers creatures won't, my Stickfingers creatures won't get that text on it. So... Yikes. Oh, I didn't mean to... God, that interface is so bad. Really have to stop and think about it every time. It's really... One of the biggest kind of criticisms I have of the Magic Arena interface are those take action or not take action prompts. The buttons really should say something like sacrifice land or take 2 damage instead of making you reread this trigger every single time and then figure out which of the 2 actions is taking an action versus declining for the other option. The Town Raiser interface there is far from the only thing that has that issue on the platform. Cube is not a permanent option on Arena for the same reason that the McRib is not always available on the McDonald's menu. People play more of it when it's there, if they know it's going away soon. Hey, Griffin, welcome back. Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you too on MB Beetle, like, that's almost assuredly the case that that's just, like, easier for them to program with take action versus not take action. Doing doing a doing a user interface that is good is harder programming. Yeah, Billy, that's exactly the point. Like, if something like it's baseline fear of missing out. And now, to call some people out here for a minute, it's the same reason Steam does sales, chat. If that game's always available at that cheaper price, you won't buy it until you actually want to play it, which, let's be honest, looking at your Steam library, you're never going to actually play it. So by putting it on sale, they encourage you to buy it because you don't want to miss out on the lower price, even though you're actually never going to play it. They kill this, I'm gonna upkeep Gaze. Yeah, it's not exclusively a Steam thing. PlayStation does it. They basically all do it. Here, leveraging fear of missing out is a very common industry tactic. I think I want both these lands. I'll draw this Dreamroot and play the assistant out here. Poor assistant, chat. He's trying so hard. It's an upkeep Gaze angle, or is it just like an Old Stickfingers? Might just be Old Stickfingers for the sake of pressure. I have double green, double blue, double black. Just plain blue with this. Doesn't really matter though. And spend my treasure here and just fill the graveyard up. Listen, as someone who's used double-digit potions over 3 sessions of the Ruined King and then immediately found a rest point where I could have healed for free, don't injure me with talking about saving potions in games, chat. Yeah, I'm actually pretty confident that consumables inside of RPGs is actually just bad game design. Feel like I can pretty confidently say that that's the... Oh, I've needed to let Rutstein's trigger resolve first. Yeah, what's it called? Minecraft Dungeons is a game Jacob's really into on the Switch off and on. He like goes in spurts of playing it. And the way their game works is they have a potion mechanic in their game, but the potion just has a cooldown on it. So you never feel bad actually using your thing. All the items are cooldown based. The Rune King game kind of goes in the opposite direction in terms of discouraging you from doing sweet stuff because it has a mana system on the characters, and the characters don't replenish mana between fights or over time. Still not quite sure how I feel about Rune King as a whole. We're gonna give it one more session today. A little medium on it at the moment. The combat's gotten a little tedious. Yeah, single-use consumables, I think are. Single-use consumables are something games shouldn't do. I don't know. Even if we end up finishing Rune King, it's not that long of a game. I think it's like 20 hours, so. Ooh, do they have a deal 3 to kill Rutstein here? Not a land on top. We'll cast this Geist, which shrinks Sticky a little bit, but 12 versus 11 is not a big deal here. We've entered the I can't beat a Hullbreaker portion of the game. I do not envision myself going to any large in-person things anytime soon. I was about to say, wow, this doesn't actually kill Old Stickfingers, but it definitely makes a bunch of 1/1s. I'm gonna take their iteration here. We're pretty unlikely to have evidence on top of our deck, but I want to clear that out of their bin. Do I just like start slowly abyssing through these 1/1s? Probably, right? Yeah, like, would this card be broken if it had trample? I don't know, maybe it breaks somewhere if it has trample. Sure, menace. He does look like a menacing lad. That's a good shout. Exile a creature from my own bin here. Make Stickfingers one smaller, but again, that's irrelevant. I just want to be able to cast creatures off the top of my deck with Illuminator. If we Ludevic, do we want to do this? I think we just Hermit, huh? Yeah, I'm supposed to save this other Geist for in case they draw a sweeper. I would not be surprised if Stickfingers was a card that got nerfed and constructed because of limited. Alright, so we need to attack their graveyard here. Let's start with burn down the house. What else do we want to get rid of? A braid. Probably their other removal spell here, Demon Bolt. They still got a bunch of things here, but they just have so much card advantage in their bin. I'm gonna go ahead and Rotting Reunion their... I'm gonna Rotting Reunion their Unexpected Windfall here, I think. Yes, and they get to double every spell they draw. That's exactly correct, too. This is free in terms of how much mana they have to spend on it. Like clearing out the ones that are free at a minimum is good. They're gonna get a lot of looks with Expressive Iteration, but hey... Hey, okay. Cemetery Illuminator is letting us play off the top. Card's very reasonable. Do I want to drop Old Stickfingers back into play here? Probably. Alright, I assume this is the part where the tire spinning begins. Tarmogoyf ain't got nothing on our boy, chat. Large lad. Long game one. Okay. They're trying. I think we're wide enough. Since they didn't have a burn down the house, they have 6 blockers. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 attackers. This notably gets to copy something too. So I can copy Willow Geist to gain trample. Okay. We want these discard spells. Cobbled Lancer seems a little bit. This card might just not be good in this deck in general. A little bit on the slow side. I probably want some amount of grasps and kills for the sake of taking Lear off the table, and I guess Word Kill's better, right? These both kill Lear and Hullbreaker. It's for the follow, Brandon. Need to cut 4 cards here, though. Ishkanah is probably not great against their deck full of bone spells. Yeah, the Open is scheduled to have some Twitch front page time for a couple hours Saturday morning, but it's hard to know. They just say, yes, you're approved for front page time. They don't tell us if we're like the main person for any of that time or for one of the people on the back end of the ticker. So like front page promo could be in a huge range of things, from like, okay, you have like 100 extra viewers, to like you literally have thousands of extra. As far as metrics bump go. Alright, let's trim a couple around the edges here and click submit. Dreamroot on 1. Wait and see what they do. I might wait on this Willow Geist until I can play it around. Well, now I have 2 of them. Huh. Play them both out, get Cinderclasmed and cry. What's going on, engineer? Good morning. Okay, step 1, didn't get Cinderclasm. Could still get, spiked or whatever it's called here. Yeah, that one. Nice. Alright, I'm just gonna start growing these up here. So I'll give us 2 3/3s. Zart, nice aggressive start. If this deck could play like 7 Willow Geists, it'd be really good. Unfortunately, that's frowned upon. I think we upkeep Gaze again here, and this time we'll flash it back from the bin. So these will be 5/5s. Do that in paper, true. Hey, turn 4, attack you for 12. Take another blue mana here. Just cry as well. Yeah, I think we'll keep that, and we'll just plan to Gaze and upkeep, get rid of it. Oh, look at that, chat. I forgot to turn sub mode on, and there was a shitter. Look at that. Look how quickly that is. Just what a great reminder of how shitty the Magic community is. This is people like Stuffed Pink Owl are the reason why we toggle sub mode on for Magic the Gathering, and we don't have it on for non-Magic the Gathering games. Because the Magic the Gathering community is consistently full of whiny shitheads. Sometimes I forget to toggle it back on for Magic in the morning if I'm running behind. Trust me when I say that that was not ironic. Chat, go look at any of the times Tolarian Community College has retweeted any of my posts on Twitter, and look at how many desperate, thirsty people feel the need to let the world know that they've been wronged because they were blocked by me on social media. These people desperately need lives. I tell them to get a hobby, but very clearly they picked Magic the Gathering, so that's not working out very well for them, so they should try other things. I think we mulligan this, right? It's like pretty slow and clunky. This is fine. We have all of our colors, but if I play this on green, I can't Ludevic on 2, but I guess we can Hermit. Fearsome Whelp. Last Dragon's deck we played again shoved us in a trash can ship. Grasp and some Tangletraps. Maybe we need more Tangletraps for the sideboard. The thing that I've blocked the most people on social media for regarding alchemy opinions are there are a lot of completely stupid and unreasonable people that have been acting like alchemy ruined the Magic Arena economy. And that's just like patently untrue. Alchemy has, for the 1000th time since Magic Arena released, highlighted the issues that have always been present in the Magic Arena economy. But if anything, the introduction of alchemy and rebalancing of cards actually makes the Magic Arena economy much better for players, because rebalancing is much better than getting your card banned. Yes, the Magic Arena economy has always been trash, but there's a bunch of bad faith idiots that have been acting like alchemy did something new and different to make it worse. It didn't. And it didn't really make it meaningfully better. It makes it marginally better, getting your decks nerfed instead of banned. But it's still not good. And a lot of people who can't see an ounce of nuance in anything that they talk about have taken me pointing out that alchemy doesn't make it worse, it makes it slightly better, with me saying the Magic Arena economy is fine. Math Teacher Gaming, thanks for the 3 entire years of support. Welcome back. What the reality is, I just don't have any sympathy for people that think, chat, this is a direct quote. This is a direct quote. You want a direct quote? Jeff doesn't have sympathy for people that are suffering under the Magic Arena economy. Imagine looking at the fucking world in 2021 and being like, you know what the source of the suffering that needs to be addressed is? My free-to-play card game is not generous enough. I am suffering, and Jeff Hoagland refuses to have empathy for my suffering under the Magic Arena economy. Like, holy imagine having your head that far up your own asshole that you think this is the suffering in 2021. Alright, so we definitely don't want these lands. I think I'm into the Cemetery Illuminator. If you or a loved one have suffered under the Magic Arena economy, please contact our ambulance chasers at... Yeah, this matchup seems abysmal. We need some... Our deck... This deck... I don't know if this deck is unplayable, but I've made the kind of classic deck building mistake of we're not particularly linear and we're not interactive enough to make up for not being linear. So let's try and make our deck a little bit more interactive here, I think. It's for the tier 2 of the 44 months JMK. I almost had to dip into my trust fund to keep playing Magic. Can't you feel sad for me? Yeah. What removal are we even supposed to play in the main deck? Removal in this format kind of sucks, right? The price increased without warning. It didn't though. That's such a shit take. Like all of the formats that were there beforehand were that all of the formats that were there beforehand are still there. So like it actually doesn't have to change at all for you. There's another option now that has a slightly different price than the old one. And like maybe it's fine to be like upset that you feel priced out of the new option. But I think binding's too slow. Yes, they also drop new products without warning all the time. It's true. I don't know that we have big enough idiots to play fight spells. It's probably just Flunk, right? Yeah, I just need to actually kill creatures. The downside to Flunk is that, like, it doesn't kill Hullbreaker. And I'll put another Tangletrap in the board. Unchief's Thirst. That's just so expensive. Spending, like, I'd rather play Binding at that point. Spending 4 mana on removal spells, infinite. For people asking me questions about what does it cost to get into various Magic Arena formats, I have no idea. The Magic Arena economy is convoluted and expensive. When I need a card to play, I swipe my credit card and I buy it. Yeah, I'm definitely doing another Alchemy deck today, Civilized Scholars, so if you want to donate for that, for 50, it can be the one after this. Is it credit card or Mythic rare? No, it's a secret rarity above Mythic. Building a deck from nothing on Magic Arena typically costs $100 to $200 depending on the rarity of the cards in the deck you are looking to build. We might be starting that elf deck real soon if you want to donate for it, Scholar. Ooh. The good news is this is a matchup where all these removal spells we just added are very good. So let's board those in here and see how it goes. Yeah, Greener, and that's gonna be the case as Historic matures more. Like, Historic, and I've talked about this before, Historic really hasn't been a real non-rotating format in the context of what it means for Magic in its lifespan because of the number of incredible power level changes it's gone through in its short history. And as the format continues to gain in card pool size, it's definitely started to stabilize. So if you're someone that has a historic deck, you can start gaining more and more certainty as the format gets bigger that that deck's going to remain somewhat reasonable. Well, I had intended to Otherworldly Gaze before I drew, but Magic Arena had other ideas. Blades Queen, thanks for the 26 months. Welcome back. I guess. I definitely want the lands. The question is, are we Willow Geisting? I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's true too, Trench Canary. More so than other formats, your deck, your Splinter Twin isn't gonna get banned out from under you in Historic anymore, for lack of a better comparison. Well, with that, knowing that that's on top, now we Cemetery Illuminator, exile the Reckless Stormseeker, and cast this. Awesome, Scholar. Thank you for the tip. It'll be our next thing once we finish with this one. I really hope they don't take too long to rebalance all the cards that are banned in Historic. Oko, Winota, Field of the Dead, all of these things should be rebalanced. No, just planning to do 2 Alchemy decks today, Crunchy. Two spells, let's just flip these back, which is nice, makes them a lot less scary. To get this 6/6 down. Alright, let's see if we can interface this time. I would like to sacrifice. Maybe your upkeep, this permanent deals 2 damage to you unless you sacrifice it. Take action. So sacrificing it is the action. Okay, good. You've interfaced. Now what I forgot to do was set a stop. And because I didn't set a stop, I can't Tangletrap and Rutstein, but this is on top of our deck, so we got that going for us. Well, so, like, the thing that's extra confusing about the interface on this is, like, technically, taking 2 also feels like taking an action to me. Maybe that's just me, though. So, I've talked about this before, but one of the things I've learned as I've expanded past just Magic the Gathering as content that I've made is that every fandom everywhere thinks, well, our opponent just threw the game in the trash can. Chat. We were gonna lose this, and then they spiked it right in there. Every fandom for every game in existence thinks that the company that makes their game has no idea what they're doing and is running it into the ground. Bionic Quail, thanks to 27 months, and Mr. P 900 for 37 months. Whether it's Runeterra, Riot doesn't know what they're doing. Pokemon Unite, Teamy doesn't know what they're doing. Like, every raid players, the Plarium does. Nah, I don't like. Actually, every fandom, the heavily invested players can't see the forest through the trees and thinks that the company managing it doesn't know what's going on. And honestly, I think part of that too is the people that tend to most have that opinion most loudly are players that are like all in on these lifestyle games. And what these players really are trying to communicate unsuccessfully, I think, is that the game and the decisions that are being made for the game aren't right for that heavily invested player. And a lot of those heavily invested players can't understand that they're not the only audience for that game. And in a lot of instances, they're not the target audience for a lot of the decisions that are being made. Like, I had someone talking about how they're like, oh, well, Wizards is gonna kill Arena with these decisions. They're running people like me out of the game. And it's just like, the hard pill to swallow is like, yeah, they're gonna lose some people with decisions that they make surrounding things like Alchemy, but they're also gonna gain a bunch of people too. And the people that are leaving, I know this hurts to hear because you've been super invested in Magic for so long, but it really doesn't matter that you're leaving. You're gonna be replaced by one or maybe even multiple other people, and Magic will go on. And that's a bitter pill for a lot of people to have to hear / swallow. Is that like this thing that they like their entire identity and personality. Magic the Gathering is not a personality trait. Don't try and make Magic the Gathering your personality trait. Because it's not. Wizards makes a great game, but they don't love you and they really don't care if you personally leave. Thanks for the Prime Bacta. I appreciate the 15 months. That does not bode well for our power word kill. Oh my god, I left power word killing against their deck. Well, they had the hasty idiots, right? Yeah, I think I'm supposed to do that. Take action. I want to take 2 damage. How do I take 2 damage? Decline sacrificing it. Okay. I just need to say those words out loud. Decline sacrificing it. So you're saying I shouldn't have magic listed on my Tinder profile? Quite the opposite. Listing your hobbies when you're trying to find someone to pair off with is a great way to find other people to pair with. You'll just be much happier as a person and an individual if the entirety of who you are and what you do isn't a single game controlled by one company looking to make money off of you. I think the pandemic, especially for Magic players, I think the pandemics complicated things as well, because like the pandemic took something away from a lot of people that they loved, right? Like people loved paper Magic and they can't play. I wanted to keep that. They can't play paper Magic right now in a lot of instances because of the pandemic. And they then wanted Arena to replace what paper Magic was for them, and it just doesn't do that. Like Arena's good, it lets you play Magic, but it doesn't do the things the same way paper Magic lets you do it. They're different things. Can't this be a moment to try and force a change to the economy? Yeah, but here's the thing you don't understand, one man cold. The economy is never going to change in Magic Arena. The Magic Arena economy is what it is because it's incredibly successful and profitable as it is right now. All of those people, chat, that complain, that say they're fighting for change in the Magic Arena economy, they don't stop playing. They don't even do the bare minimum and try and play and promote other games like Runeterra that are more player friendly, right? Like, you know, look at to shoot shots at, I'm okay, I'm not gonna shoot, let's bite my tongue. I'm not gonna shoot shots at specific people. But look at any of the people that are like, they're creators of the people, and they call out WotC, and it's like, well, they don't even do the bare minimum and encourage their audiences to like try these other things through showing them what the options are, right? Like, part of the reason I make a point to do Runeterra and other games like Mass Effect and Pokemon Unite is to hopefully remind people that like there are other things that exist and you should try lots of things and varieties, the spice of life, and you shouldn't be all in on one thing. But sure, there's been a small amount of Runeterra discussion, but a lot of those like, talk is cheap, Sir Q. Don't look at discussion. Look at how many of the people that make content that like Magic's their job that will put any of their own ass on the line to promote and actually push into other things. The people complaining the loudest don't actually do the thing that they could do best to drive change. What are lands? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, Oglor, I'm depending on you to fix my draws here. Oh no, chat, it's like they knew. All right, so we'll upkeep Gaze, try and find a land. Well, thanks for the 13 months, Fear Devil. Welcome back. All right, and with that, I'm gonna move on from talking about the arena economy. Just know my final and most ultimate position is, it sucks, but it is what it is, and it really isn't changing. That's where I'm at in life, chat. Thanks for the 32 months, Cody. Welcome back. Hopefully this can find us an untapped black source. Perfect. Am I in for Ludevic? It's kind of okay at filling my graveyard. We can Willow Geist into Cemetery. Although I guess I'm actually exiling from their graveyard here, right? So it doesn't matter the ordering. And for people that weren't here, which start us off down the ranting, I turn off sub mode when we do non-magic games, and I forgot to turn it back on this morning before I went live. And when you believe it or not, the first non-sub content during a magic stream was someone that was being shitty. That we did promptly ban, but was still a healthy reminder of having the community be slightly more limited is the correct choice. This Fell Stinger didn't quite make it out. Your graveyard. I'm gonna exile Ludevic here, which makes this a 2/2, and then we'll see if they block into the onboard trick or not. Silly opponent, you've activated my trap card. So Rotten Reunion is +2/+2 for Willow Geist because it exiles when it flashes back and then it exiles another card. Willow Geist chat. Alright, we're hoping for the Cemetery to be able to draw some cards here. I mean, I guess it's technically gonna do that. We'll exile this Vanishing Verse. So this can only cast one card per turn off the top of my deck, so I could not cast the Hermit there.
My children wrench their hands. A gift in exchange for loyalty.
Guess we just do this. Then we can attack into the Queen here. It's actually a pretty decent pickup here because we'll get to be able to counter a Blood on the Snow next turn.
All of you. I will cull the weak.
don't have a good way to gain life in this deck, so I think we need to keep that off the board. Prioritize exiling their good blood on the snow targets. Decent one. This is my 10-10. Not many like it, but this one is mine. Oh. Gosh, is this even a permanent you can sack to the right of Oblivion? Almost dead, man. Spot removal seems not great here. Just bring in some discard spells. Disrupt some of their stuff before it happens. Yeah, it hits a little different for everyone. 78. When I got my second shot, I was like fine the day after, and then like 2 days later, I felt kind of medium. But I keep this with all our colors of mana. This land can scry. We have Otherworldly Gaze on 1 to hopefully help us find a 2-drop for 2. Well then. I don't think I'm quite ready for the movie theater experience just yet. I won't fault people that are if you're being responsible and wearing your mask and getting vaccinated, but like Haley's still not eligible for a shot for a little while yet, so we're still trying not to do too much outside of like the kids do in school and stuff. So we could stick as a 4/4 here. There's one creature in my bin already. Or we could like Ludevic plus the assistant. I think I like that. Let's just get set up more. the timing for the boosters after the initial shot. It depends on a few different factors, Beansy. I'd encourage you to consult your physician or CDC guidelines. Yeah, for Haley, my money's on. By the time they approve the shots for 2 to 5, she will already be 2. That's 6 months from now. And that's not based on anything super factual. It's just oh, is there an unban request? Oh baby. Probably from the shot I fired this morning. Yeah, definitely. That person had literally never been in the stream before. They weren't following the channel. They followed to be a dickhead. And then, believe it or not, they were also a dickhead via the unban requests. Okay, so like now... I guess we'll just do this. And I've often said this before too, but I genuinely hope none of the people who ever criticize me for the way that I block people aggressively on social media ever have to experience the constant random hostility from shitty fandoms like I do on a daily basis. It's the reason why we stay in sub mode for Magic. It's the reason why I block pretty liberally on platforms like Twitter. It gets wearing even with thinning it out and moderating it a little bit at times. Actually, something that's kind of a good thing. Twitter has started adding like asterisks basically below posts that like start taking off that are going viral, that basically, like, the message it says is, remember there's a human behind the screen. And, like, it sounds kind of silly to, like, say that out loud, but I think that that's a message that a lot of people could use reminding of. Especially with, do I want to break expectations here? I think I might actually. Especially in the world of, you know, influencers and parasocial relationships that are more one-sided, I think it's very easy for people to forget that, like, I'm an actual person, I'm not a character on a TV show. It's not even about strictly criticism either, Coder Chris. Like, a lot of it isn't criticism. It's just people flinging poop. You're a real person, Jeff. You were in an SCG match next to me at Fort Worth once. God bless. Yeah, I think from a head space quality of life improvement, my personal Twitter account is probably going to be going back to a sponsored post slash posting about events and YouTube video status for a little while. I need a break from it all. It's not, and for the record, Martian, it's not even just about like explicitly harassment so much as it is about like noise too. Like the signal to noise ratio is probably the thing I would describe the most that I look to cut down. Like one of the people who was very upset that they couldn't see my post on that the professor had reposted. They simply, I posted it. It was about Teferi Time Raveler, I think they said, or some card that I thought should have been banned that eventually was banned. And they responded to one of my posts articulating my thoughts with just the word no. So rather than engaging with the response that had no thought put into it, I didn't put any thought into it, I just blocked them. And it's like, was them responding no to my post going to hurt me? Almost assuredly not. I was perfectly fine with them just responding no. But it also wasn't improving my life, and it was just adding noise to my social media, so I got rid of the noise. Alright, well, we're gonna draft a bunch of spiders here, chat. They really shouldn't have let me untap with this. Now I get to make a bunch more friends. We drafted a bomb, chat. We drafted a bomb. I have a newfound respect for Ishkanah in the grindy matchup, chat. Alright, I'm gonna make old Stickfingers here a little smaller and draft another spider friend. Ishkanah, the draft widow. Yeah, Faceless Haven was nerfed to a 3/3. Yep, that nerf being relevant there. I've enjoyed Boros the most for dragon variations. I think this format for alchemy so far is very creature based, and I think the life gain that adult gold dragon provides in racing situations is very valuable. See, chat, I just articulated myself with my point, and if someone just responded to that point with just the word no, they wouldn't be worth responding to again ever. So you just clear them out of your mentions. Need black here, so we get Ludevic next turn. Get to scry. I have plenty of things that mill in my hand, so even this is a little bit better at milling. I'm gonna go ahead and bottom it here, looking for some payoffs. Thanks for 21 months, Mastermind. I've enjoyed alchemy. It's been reasonable. There's a small chance that maybe this mono black deck's a little overtuned, but it's definitely on average more enjoyable than getting time walked constantly. Thanks for the follow, Atari. Welcome to the channel this morning. God, we're just gonna die to these blood artists. This card could probably stand to cost 4 mana. This card could probably stand to cost 4 mana. So, Blood Artist isn't an alchemy. Sanguine Brushstroke is a 3-mana card that makes a blood, turns your blood into a Blood Artist effect, and makes a Blood Artist. So it's like this 3-mana Blood Artist ++. I mean, as a slightly more scientific method of measuring what's popular and what's not, my historic videos do consistently do the best of all the Magic Arena content I post in various places, so. We're doing Alchemy this weekend for the tournament, so I'm doing all Alchemy today, but we're definitely gonna do some regular historic in the mix still. Hey, welcome back, Jorg. Sometimes you gotta refresh your page. Do they meet Hook here for 3? No, I think that impression's accurate. I think the queue times are definitely longer in Alchemy. Are we dead? I think we're dead, right? There were 7 things? Yeah. I think the Blood Artist is a really powerful card, and giving you Blood Artist plus for 1 more mana, I think it's probably a little too pushed. Yes, but it can be fixed is exactly exciting. You don't have to say, hey, we need to ban this. We get to say, hey, maybe this card should cost 4 mana. I was pretty whelmed by this. It definitely did, like, if you could have 2 Willow Geists in every opening hand, this deck would be great and sweet. But the problem is you can't have 2 Willow Geists in every opening hand, and like Old Stickfingers not having trample. And like, honestly, talking about the sweet potential of a digital format, like this deck is potentially like Old Stickfingers away from getting some combination of trample and menace, away from maybe being good. Like, this is the type of thing where if Wizards wanted to push this archetype ever so slightly, they could make this card that's like close to playable a bit better with a small keyword addition, and then we could revisit this. But I think as is, without some type of power level increase to some of the cards in here, this one's probably not something that I am interested in poking at again.